What's up, techies? This is Josh here, and this is my friend John, and I tagged him along with this video to unbox the new Honor 6X. Now, just in background, have you ever used an Android device as your personal daily driver?
I have never personally owned or used an Android device.
He said he has touched buttons before, so
Yeah, that's about it.
I wanted to do that because one, it's just something different. I can give you my first impressions and all that kind of stuff. We can talk about it with this video, but I thought it'd be pretty cool to give a perspective about someone that doesn't really use Android. And so once we get all opened up, I'll let them hold it, press some buttons again, and kind of get some first impressions, ask some questions and things like that. So with that said, again, this is the Honor 6X. It's the new phone that Honor has come out with. Last year they came out with the 5X, and it took a pretty good liking to a lot of people. And I'm trying to avoid a certain thing because there's one question I want to ask you, which is how much do you think it cost? So whenever you get it and all that kind of stuff, I want you to think about that, and then we can talk about the 5X and the comparison, because I got the Honor 8 here, which is the flagship phone that was released last year. And so it's a little different phone, and one of the questions that I'll cover in my review is should you just spend a few more dollars and get the Honor 8, which is here, or if you're tight on the budget, will this kind of get you by as well? All right, so here's the phone. It's covered with some plastic. It looks like it's got a pre-installed screen protector. Got some instructions here on the back. And I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that. And go ahead and get it powered on while we look at everything else. Now, I got the gold edition with the white front. I haven't really got too many gold devices in the past, so I figured try to give a little different one. I could have got the silver with the white. That would be my second choice, but then you also get the choice of a black with a black front. So you get your normal paperwork. No one really cares about that. SIM card tool. Got your micro USB, which was kind of puzzling. A lot of people have said that we would have preferred to see USB Type-C, since that's the way to go. And so I think a lot of people would have spent a little extra more money. We got our charging brick. It's pretty minimal in here, and that's it. I want to say some kind of combinations depending on where you buy from. You could have got a case with it. I think some headphones. Honor is throwing up flash sales to where you can get a bunch of deals. And so with that time that I just spent talking, we are to our welcome screen. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all set up. Try to get it going. Well, first, I'm going to put my Cricket wireless SIM card in here. And while I'm on that, I can talk about the SIM card, because it's got two options. You could put two SIM cards in this, or a SIM card and an SD card to expand your storage. So that's pretty cool. Little fact there. Reason why that's pretty neat is because if you have a business line or a personal line, you can use one device. You don't have to carry around two phones. So it's pretty neat. This is available on GSM networks, so it's going to be AT&T and T-Mobile type networks. I wish I could use it on Verizon. So that's a bummer in itself. And I'm going to skip Wi-Fi because I don't know the password offhand. And by the way, guys, I'm using my iPhone 7 Plus to record this. There's an app that I found, and the phone is too far away to see your comments, so I'm going to have to reply to those a little later. I'll try to pull it up on another phone in just a second. But we're not going to be able to see your comments just yet because it's really tiny on this thing. I'll let you guys know what app I'm using too, because it's pretty cool. I can broadcast live on YouTube with my iPhone. There's also some other apps on Android that you can use too. So it's activating right now. I really wish I could see what you're saying. Hello, price. I'll get over a price in just a second. John Camaro, what? There's Bill Turner.
Hey, Bill.
Bill's been in some of my videos before. He was in a 360 video about the Pixel. So that's cool. All right. If I'm looking like this, if you're just joining, it's because I'm trying to look at the comments. All right, so tour around the phone. So that's pretty cool. We get thumbs up, so we see that. That's neat. This is a new app experience. I've not used it before. Two around the phone. We got our power button here. We got a volume rocker. We have a fingerprint reader on the back. We have a dual camera setup. Now that's different than what you see in the iPhone or the LG V20 and the I think the G5 had it. It's not the type of dual camera to where you get that zoom focus, that extra lens. It's like what we saw in the Honor 8 where it uses different focal points, so you can get some pretty cool aperture effects. And you got a flash on the back as well. Headphone jack at the top, microphone. Talked about the SIM card and SD card port. Again, it's a micro USB connection, and we got our speakers at the bottom. So that's gonna do with that. All right, I'm gonna skip adding all my apps for now so we can get into the device. All right, so while that's doing that, I'm gonna let you hold it and get your opinion about like the build quality, how good the screen looks, how does it feel in the hand, all that kind of stuff.
Build quality, I mean, it feels good in the hand.
Okay.
Compared to what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
Weight-wise, I don't know. It feels super thin. So
yeah, it is pretty thin.
I don't know if that's like just me trying to figure that out, but it does feel thin.
No, this is the Honor 8. That's got a glass back.
I mean, just based off of looks alone, the Honor 8 stands out to me on that. Or the screen size is the same and everything.
The screen size on Honor 8 is a little bit smaller. I think it's a 5.3 inch. That's a 5.5 inch. So the 5.5 inch is the same size as your 7 Plus that you have.
This is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's different.
All right, I'm gonna look at some of these comments, see what's going on. Hey, what area are you from? We live in southern Alabama.
And so for the tech world, it probably should be noted that like I don't even know what an Honor phone is.
Yeah.
So you're truly getting like an unboxing experience.
Have you heard of Huawei? Looks like
I heard of Wawa gas stations. But
all right. Like I said, this dude is a straight up Apple iPhone user. He's not using anything else. Honor is a new company. They've been around about 3 or 4 years. They really stepped up into the I guess the Android enthusiast kind of field last year. The Honor 8 really put them on the map because it's a really good phone for a good price. So while we're talking about price, I mean, we can get into the software and all that kind of stuff. That's not going to matter too much. Okay. But if you were to put a price tag on that,
on this,
what would you put? Literally
based off of knowing nothing about the phone other than what you just said, I would maybe say like, are we talking like a contract price or like a retail price?
Retail price.
Retail
like
price?
Full
straight
price.
up, I'm going to buy this.
Mm-hmm. Straight up price.
If this was Price is Right, I guess like maybe $350.
$350.
Am I close?
That's a good guess, but it's actually for $250.
Okay.
And last year, the Honor 5X was $200. So it's $50 more.
Okay.
It's 32 gigs of storage on the inside. I guess I could have told you that. But this also has 32 gigs of storage, but you can expand it. But you can get the 64 gig coming out soon. They don't have that one just yet.
So this one is?
And price point wise, like full retail, the Honor 8's $399, which is still a really good price. And you can catch it on sale for $299 at times.
Do you see like I keep defaulting to my thumb wanting to go to like my Apple home button?
Yeah.
Like I'm literally holding it.
When I swapped over to, I was using the Pixel to the iPhone 7. And just like this, there's a fingerprint reader in the back to unlock the screen and stuff. And I kept on reaching for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
Because when you first, I mean, you're just like, you're asking me for just what I think about it when I'm holding it or just kind of the look of it and this and that. My default position is my thumb is down and ready to hit a button.
And I go through that when I use a Galaxy S device or a Note or something like that because I personally like the button on the front. That's my preference because I have an office job. So if I have the phone on the desk, I can just unlock the phone on the front. When the fingerprint reader's on the back to unlock the device, I have to, do whatever gesture or hit the power button and then hit the PIN code if I keep it on the table. Otherwise, I have to pick it up, and it's first world problems. But Try to log into my account real quick. Try to get.
Do you want me to lean forward and read you some questions while you're
Yeah,
logging
you
in?
can do that. We can tag team that.
Roll Tide. Well, yeah,
You
I
had
won't
to
say
say that.
anything about that. Don't drop it, John. Maintain the resale. I'd honor a chance to try one, but they're not on Verizon.
Yeah, I have a secondary line. It's Cricket Wireless. For $35 a month, you get 2.5 gigs of high-speed internet and unlimited everything. So it's a pretty good deal.
Josh, this looks like a question that you could answer. Have you tried the ZTE phone line?
I have not, but if you know George, Mobile Geezer, he's one of the writers over on the website. He has a lot of the ZTE stuff, so he's got a good perspective on that phone.
Yeah, he goes on to say that the one that he has is ZTE Z-Max Pro from Metro.
Okay.
It's a 6-inch phone.
Yeah, I've not dabbled into the ZTE line. I just haven't got to that point. All right. So I've got good connection so far with Cricket Wireless, and back to Cricket. The reason why I picked them for my secondary line is because it's only $35 a month if you turn on auto pay, and my honor rate just took a dive. And I think it's a pretty good deal. It uses AT&T network, and that's better than T-Mobile in this area. So that's why I chose them. But good news is, though, I've got a project coming up that I'm working with a different carrier, and it uses T-Mobile, so I'm going to be using T-Mobile pretty often. I'm going to be dropping Cricket. You guys are commenting pretty good. Thanks for the comments. From Russia, welcome. Back to my phone died. Plug up your phone, bro. That's a very similar dual camera setup. Yeah, the ZTE, I'm interested in it. It's just phones tend to release at the same time, and I'm not made of money, so I have to kind of pick and choose what I want to make videos on and stuff. Well, this is still loading. The screen will get brighter and stuff too. I kind of like doing these live videos too with unboxings because it kind of shows you how long it takes to set up a phone, if it's going to be quick and easy. Dude, when I tried to set up my iPhone 7, it was a pain in the butt.
I can't disagree with you on it. I mean, like, I got mine from a Verizon store and started the transfer and the backup and all that stuff.
You
And
got
then
to do so much on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then if you don't,
Well, I left the store thinking that it would ride, we'd be good.
Yeah.
Come find out after running a couple hours of errands, I get home and my phone's still telling, like, hey man, you got to be on Wi-Fi to do this stuff.
yeah, there is that issue, but also I have a work phone that is a iPhone 6 Plus, and I had that as my trusted contact number. So I left my work phone at work, and when I went through the activation process to restore from iCloud,
Yeah.
I had to get a text message from that number, and so I had to wait till the next morning to even get it
I
going.
gotcha.
So it was a pain in the butt. It's cool that they have all that security in place, but it can be kind of aggravating at times when you just want to get to using your new phone. This is taking a little while to get going, but I wanted to get into the camera and stuff because it's got that dual camera set up. Here we go. All right. The fingerprint ID is pretty cool because you can use gestures and things like that. Like if you scroll down on it, it'll scroll the notification panel. Let's see how quick this is. Camera's over there. Pretty quick. All right. So it only lets you do it one at a time. You have to go back in the settings to add other fingerprints. All right, so we're at the home screen now. I'm trying to get my brightness up so I can see the full display. All right, so here we are. It loaded my wallpaper that I'm using right now. That's something that's pretty cool. And I want to go to the settings because I think it comes with Android Marshmallow instead of the latest, the Android update. And it's supposed to come pretty quick. It's got 3 gigs of RAM. The screen resolution is 1080p, but Huawei and Honor do a really good job at 1080p. Where is it at? And it's Emotion UI 4.1, but it's supposed to get updated soon too. So yeah, it is on Marshmallow, which is it's not bad. All right, so does that look familiar at all? Does it look iPhone-ish to you?
iPhone-ish for sure.
Okay. That was the question I wanted to ask, because the Emotion UI, a lot of people say gives off the vibe of iPhones or iOS. So that is definitely confirmed with someone that uses an iPhone all the time. One of the things that I like about this is you can swipe from one side of the screen to either get the shortcuts or notifications. So it's pretty cool. Like you can go that side, or you'll be able to do that in the settings. So let's talk about the camera, then we'll probably wrap up this video because we got stuff to do, places to go. See how easy it is to use and all that kind of stuff. And I'll post this photo to Instagram. So I'm gonna take a photo of the Honor 8. You'll do a little bit closer because you got some different aperture effects you can do. It's actually having a hard time focusing on the glass. So I'm focused on my hand right now. There's this aperture effect here at the top. So you do a closer photo, you focus on the foreground. Then you can go back and adjust it so you can get some really good blur in the background.
That's cool.
And you can also change where the focus happens. So if I wanted to focus on the camera right there, you see how the
change
front,
the effect over there.
So you're big on millennials, and Honor markets these phones as targeted towards millennials. So first impressions, do you think this is something millennials would like?
I would say probably yeah, and honestly it's and I this is probably as biased as I am being really an iPhone user. The attraction to me, if I were ever thinking about switching from an iPhone to like a Droid powered device, would be immediately looking at this Android, whatever. And so what I would do...
another confirmation of an iPhone user is he labeled this as Droid.
So an Android device.
Stream status bad. Ooh, okay.
That's good to know for your app that you're running. But I would think it has an appeal because it has iPhone kind of similarities.
Okay.
Like that's the appeal. Point. But then the other side, and maybe this is
I think about with millennials is
the money side.
$250 ain't bad.
Yeah, for $250 it wouldn't be bad. Now if you've got people that are just trying to, and this completely might show my intelligence on the in the techie world, it could get viewed as a knockoff iPhone, so why not just get the real thing?
Okay.
And so if there's like that brand loyalty to like, well, if everything's trying to look like an iPhone, why wouldn't I just get an iPhone? But the camera, the stuff you just did on that, I've never even messed around with or got to the point on my iPhone 7 to see that I could do that or not.
Yeah, I know for a fact, like all those features are not on the iOS camera. As a matter of fact, it's not on a lot of different kind of stuff. This is a while. Okay. It's a feature-heavy phone, which is something that I like. It's got a lot of stuff to help processes be easier.
Yeah. But from a millennial side of things, I do like price point is spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, if I know I could pick that phone up. Now, it probably does stink that it's not, you said
Please. I was like, oh no, someone's trying to make a phone call on my phone that I'm using to broadcast with, and
So you said it's not like it's not a Verizon phone.
Yeah, you can't put it on Verizon. It's got to be something that uses T-Mobile or AT&T. So
yeah.
But I mean, with that said too, if if they're really looking for something budget-wise, a budget phone,
Oh, absolutely.
like you got a lot of good options budget plan-wise with those kind of companies, like Cricket, like I said, because for $35 a month, you get unlimited everything and the 2.5 gigs of high-speed internet. That's a pretty good deal. And it's on AT&T coverage, which is second best to me. Like there's Verizon, AT&T, then T-Mobile. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I'm going to have more about this device. I'll have a full review about it after I get to use it myself for a week or two. And so be looking for that. If you guys have any questions or comments of what you want in that review, let me know down in the comments as well. What did you think about this video? It was a little bit different style. It wasn't a typical unboxing because one, it's live. I'm using an iPhone 7 for the live feed and also bringing a friend over to give his perspective, but also from a perspective of, like, he's only used an iPhone since what you said, the iPhone 4?
Yeah, my first and only smartphone has been in iPhones.
Yes.
So as soon as they released their phone, I haven't had another phone since then. So.
That's it, guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys later. Subscribe to all my social media sites as well. Also follow me on Snapchat because I post with my Snapchat spectacles on a regular basis. It's a pretty cool way. I actually meant to do that for part of this video, but we were trying to get going. So anyways, I'll catch you guys the next video, and I'm going to try to see what all these phone calls that I'm trying to get are all about.